day of the week. You know when I realized this, when it solidified in my mind, was when someone asked me a really personal question. Someone said to me, Trevor, if you have kids, where would you like them to be brought up? And this was honestly one of the toughest questions ever, because I was like, wow, actually I've never thought about that. If I had children, where would I want them to be brought up? And honestly, all I could think, no lying, no nothing, I was like, I would want them to be brought up in South Africa. I would want them to grow up in a country where you have multiple cultures, in a country where you have multiple languages, in a country where you understand that there are other ways to be, in a country where there's diversity in terms of thought, in terms of food. I would want them to understand what it's like to be in a country where, I would want them to live here. I would want them to know here. And then I went down a spiral. I was like, wow, what would I want? I would want my kids to be South African. Like I realized I want my kids to have the same ice cream truck music that I grew up with. Which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know this. Did you know that the ice cream truck music is different in every country? I didn't know this. I just assumed. Yeah, till I went, and there I was in America. They've got different ice cream trucks driving around, and there, plum 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 plum. Yeah, and then you go to Europe. You'll be in some random country. They've got their own music, and the ice cream truck is like plung 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 plung. I don't want that for my kids. When my kids are getting ice cream, I don't want that jolly music playing. I want happy music. When my kids are about to get ice cream, I want there to be suspense. I want it to sound like the beginning of a horror movie. I want that thrill when the truck turns around the corner. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. That's what I want for my kids. Why do I want them to grow up in this country? There's so many reasons. You know why I want my kids to be South African? Because I want my kids to have grit. I want them to have texture. You take for granted what a child growing up in South Africa learns. You take for granted what they have to go through. It makes you something special, you know? It polishes you, a diamond from the rough. There's something of like, you know, I realized this one day. I was in the street in Brooklyn, right outside of New York City, right? And I'm sitting outside. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm in the street, and there's these kids playing baseball, right? And I'm watching these kids while they're playing. Well, I wasn't like watching them. I just saw them, you know? And no, like I wasn't like they were just there. And I was looking in that direction. In fact, I was looking first, and then they came and started playing while I was looking there. So like they're the ones with the problem. Anyway, so the kids were there, and they were playing baseball, right? And having like a really great time. The one kid pitches the ball, hits it, runs around. The other one comes, hits the ball, and then one kid pitched the ball, and the kid batted and hits it, and it flew into a car window on the side, and the window cracked. And the kid who hit it was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then the kid who threw the ball, he was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then the other kids who were just standing around, they're like, ee, oh. And then soon it was 10 kids all crying at different times. I can't have children like that. One broken window, 10 children crying. Guys, that'll never happen in South Africa. What is the point of that? I remember what it was like growing up. We'd be outside in the streets playing. Everyone was there busy with the soccer ball. Busy having some fun playing diski. Someone would kick that ball too hard. Ball would fly over the wall, hit someone's window. And the thing I love is South African windows always act like they're not gonna break. And then the kid who kicked the ball, they'd look and they'd be like, yeah. And the rest of us would see what is about to happen. We'd know. We understand why our friend is terrified. They're in more trouble than they've ever been in their lives. But we wouldn't cry. What is our crying going to help our friend? No. We would be there. We would look over into our friend's eyes. We'd stare at them and we'd be like, I love banana. You broke the window. They're gonna hit you. They're gonna kill you. And then we'd take the ball and be like, see you tomorrow. Those are the kids I want. That's why I want South African children. You kidding me? And the most important reason I want to have children that are South African is because I want children who have culture and respect. Culture and respect. You take that for granted as a South African. The way we treat each other, even in the toughest times, you take it for granted because you're here. But guys, South Africans, we're truly a cut above the rest. Like, you think I'm wrong. You think I'm lying. Go, walk anywhere in public where there are other South Africans. Fall flat on your face. Pa! Tell me there's no South African there who will feel your pain. You'll fall. Bah! They'll all be there like, sorry. Ooh, sorry. Ach, shame, man. Ach, nee, man. Ach, shame. Ach, fooi toch, man. Ach, shame. You know that doesn't happen overseas. Yeah. There's a lot of countries around the world where no one cares about what happens to you if they don't know you. I saw this firsthand in New York. I was walking through the street, and there was this old lady who had just come back from grocery shopping, and she was carrying her bag. And this lady was old, guys. Like old. Like old. Like old. You're not like old. Like old. Like she was knocking. You know what I mean? Like old. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like even where like the angel of death was there walking with her, like, anytime I know I'll just be here in case. Like old. I'm talking about old. You know when you're so old, every morning you wake up shocked, like, I'm still here. Like that old. And this little old lady was walking with her bag. She had a little plastic bag with groceries. And as she got to the middle of the street, the bag burst. And all the vegetables that were inside her bag scattered on the ground. And vegetables, you all know, is the worst thing to drop. Yeah, because nothing runs like vegetables, eh? Have you seen vegetables when you drop them out of a packet? They go in every direction, like they know you were gonna murder them. Guys, they're gone. Those vegetables, especially onions. Have you seen onions? They land and they're like... Guys, these vegetables were strewn in every direction. Nobody stopped to help this lady. No one cared. People made it seem like she inconvenienced them. They were hopping over it, looking at her, judging her. I was the only one who felt bad. I started gathering up the vegetables, started picking them. As I picked them up, this old lady turned and she looked at me and she was like, Hey! Hey, don't touch my vegetables, you asshole! Put those down, you piece of shit! And I was like, yo, sorry. I don't want that for my kids. I want them to grow up in a culture where there's respect and care. Respect being one of the key ones. I've been traumatized by children in America. They do whatever they want when they want. Honestly, guys, I've met many American children. They're demons, eh? Demons. Abo Satan. I'll tell you a story. One day, I was in a movie theater, minding my own business, watching a movie. Next thing I know, this kid starts kicking my chair. Right? Now, I don't know what's happening at first. I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and all of a sudden I feel the chair start shaking. So I'm like, oh, is this a 4D movie? And then I'm like, no, man, Barbie's not 4D. And then I realized no one else is shaking around me, so I turn and I look, and then I see these little feet kicking the chair. And so I turn and I'm like, hey, excuse me, hey, what are you doing? And this kid is sitting there and he just looks at me. I'm like, what are you doing? And then, like a seat away, his dad is there. And he turns and he's like, What happened? Hey, did something happen? I'm like, is this your son? He's like, yeah, what, did something happen? I'm like, yeah, so your son is kicking my chair. He's like, what? Mikey, are you kicking the man's chair? Then I'm like, oh, why are you asking? I just told you he's kicking my chair. Why are you asking Mikey? Obviously, Mikey's being accused of something. You should just, you think I'll just turn around in a movie to just, anyway. He's like, did you kick the man's chair? And Mikey just looks at his dad like this. He's like, Mikey, you don't kick people's chairs. That's not nice. Say sorry to the man. Say sorry. Mikey just looks at me. And he's like, yeah, all right, you're good. Sorry about that, man. It won't happen again. I'm like, okay, I guess something happened. Turn around, I sit back in my chair, start eating my popcorn. So now I'm like, aha, it's gonna come now. Because if your parent warns you, I know, hey. So now I'm like, yeah, keep kicking, Mikey. Keep kicking, Mikey. Any moment now. You've been warned, Mikey. Then I'm like, hey, what's happening now? How come Mikey's not getting anything? Why is Mikey still? So then I turn around, I'm like, hey, Mikey, what are you doing, dude? Stop that. And the dad turns again, he's like, was he doing it again? Was he doing that? Hey, Mikey, that is not cool. I spoke to you about this, Mikey. That is not cool, Mikey. Time out. All right, sorry about that. We're good. I was like, I can see what Mikey's not changing. Nothing's. He's like, we're good. So now I sit. Now I know what's going to happen. I'm not an idiot. So I make my back hard. I wait. Mikey first kick. He's like, I jump up. I'm like, Mikey. Dad's like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to do. I'm like, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. I'm like, Elena, something. And then I realized he couldn't do anything. And Mikey knew it. Mikey looked at his dad like this dad couldn't do anything to him. He looked at me like I couldn't do anything to him. I even tried to take it into my own hands. I looked at Mikey, I was like, Mikey, stop it. And Mikey was just like, then I tried every South African trick, guys. Every South African trick. I looked at Mikey and I was like, and then Mikey looked at me and Mikey was like, shut up. And I was like, I can't do anything. And so I turned and I looked at Mikey. And Mikey looked at me and I was like, you know what, Mikey? Pose. That day terrified me in a way I wasn't ready for. I'm not ready to have children like that. Because here's something I want you to understand. I do not want to ever hit my children, ever. I don't believe that anyone should hit their children. I honestly don't. But, I also don't want to raise a child who thinks it's impossible, for this side of a hand to meet this side of a face. I need the kids to know that there's consequences in the world, even if it's not from me. I promise you no. I don't want my kids. I don't want to hit my kids. I don't want to. But I don't want them to know that I don't want to. Yeah. There must just be a little tension in the house, just for control. Because now, can you imagine I've just got some American kids who don't respect me at all. The house is chaos. No one can do anything. They're breaking things, smashing things. I'm like, stop that. Hey, stop that. Are you listening to me? Yes, Trevor. Trevor, I'm daddy. Trevor, I'm daddy when now. Trevor, you call me Trevor. I'm daddy. Trevor, daddy. Trevor. Can you imagine that happening? Yo, guys, I wouldn't even know what to do. That would be the one time in my life when I would wish that would wish to be in South Africa in that moment. Not that I want it to happen, but I would just wish for that moment that I could be back in South Africa, instantly teleported, there with this little kid. I'd look at him and be like, what did you say? Trevor! Come here, buddy, come here, come here. Can I tell you something? What? You see there? You see the time? It's 5 to 2. That means in 5 minutes, the electricity is gonna cut. And when that happens, you're gonna know me. Because it's gotten insane. It has...